Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Advancement Center and welcome to the industry of magic and miracles. Have you noticed the expansion of magic and miracles as a catchphrase, as titles of some posts on Facebook? Well, and the elevated platform that we call our base of operations here on Earth is ever growing to accommodate the many who have heard their inner alarm clocks to wake up and smell the roses. Magic and miracles are declared everywhere. I remember so well back in 2011, we were living in Australia and received an invitation to have Robert speak to a large group in Petaluma, California. And this included an extensive speaking tour that took us almost all the way down to San Diego. Robert naturally spoke of the world of magic and miracles, and I looked around the room and saw replicas of my teenagers when they did heaven eyes in disbelief. Brilliant. I remember those looks. Well, Robert and I celebrate this explosion of magic and miracles and welcome more and more magic and miracles into everyone's daily life. Today's message has been delighting me ever since it was declared, and when David found the photo for the invitation, we were all delighted. And remember it said, here, no, reading the wrong thing, your light-hearted essence will free the world. That has been tantalizing for me. It has occupied me. And it's just been amazing because David found that photo of that little girl. She is exactly how Robert and I imaged the picture should be. And thank you, David. Your light-hearted essence will free the world. Wow. On May 14th, in 2016, Robert wrote, "The light-hearted approach to everything always gives you pleasure. And this is a good indication that the flow between you and everything around you is in order and the fields are interacting in a way that your energies are being amplified and life is generating exactly what is needed for it to move forward in the best possible way." This is what I have been saying all along. We have a treasure trove at our fingertips. The other night, I visited youngsight.com as a tourist and didn't stop being nourished by Robert's words until way after midnight. Here are some titles that grew out of the text and the audios. Transmit your essence. Willingness to accept perfection. Doorway to new dimensions. No need for words. The freshness of each day. The light-hearted vision of your life. As time allows, I will share a portion of each writing. On another note, Robert and I never carry a word, a thought, or a comment from yesterday into today. Every day is new. Nothing to weigh our hearts down. Wow, it wasn't always this way. I would bring an interesting world comment, and Robert would say, "Don't take me into that world." For years, I have been acutely aware of the difference between response, reaction, and retort. Okay. A genuine response is heartfelt in the moment and encourages further exchanges. A reaction is an echo of a past time and nothing to do with this moment and cuts the communication. And the retort is merely a swords ready for a duel of ideas. The other night at dinner, Robert said, "Barbara, you love words, and I have no need for them. That's why we are together." So there you have it. It's been an amazing ride, and the journey continues. And I have so many wonderful things to share with you. So, one moment. The thing that's so exciting is that every writing seems to answer the writing that came just before it. And they all speak to me. And as one person said, I crochet them all together. So here we go. And the first one is called Transmit Your Essence. Have you ever thought about that? Do you know that you're transmitting your essence all the time? And this is what Robert wrote. As you move into the newness of this time, you will notice everything starting all over again. Even the technical parts of your world are new and totally different to the past. The software on your computers is updating, and the equipment now operates differently because of the new way that has appeared in your reality. For many people, this will be the same, but you are now going further and looking at the future, which is different again in every way you can imagine. All the various aspects will come to life quickly, and it will soon be obvious that the old way of life is being put away forever, where it can never be accessed again. Advancement is now the most prominent aspect of life, and all the components are about to fill everyone's life with joy and excitement beyond belief. And there's more, but I'm going to put it aside because there's so much more to share with you. Okay. And this is called The Light-Hearted Vision of Your Life. This was written June 22nd, 2016. You feel at times that you are controlled by circumstance, but this is the very thing that remains under your control at all times. You are not aware of the many reasons behind every move in the universe, but you are the generator of your own circumstances. If you can see this and know that it is an involuntary resource that acts out because of the various fields that you generate, what you have called emotions will be an important tool for your future. If you allow your emotions to pursue their own destiny without reaction and continually step forward to let them pass, you will see many changes in the circumstances of your life. Concern will disappear, and you will be willing to drop all determinations in the light of the brilliance that appears around you. The light-hearted vision of your life will now be the only thing that is eligible for any consideration. All other aspects will be allowed to disappear into nature to regenerate and take on a more appropriate energy form. This is an automatic function that ensures your continued presence in the world of your Creator and your positive connection to the world of magic and miracles. The so-called practical world changes its nature, and everything is in tune with the destiny of each individual. The process of making decisions and rules about almost everything can now disappear because everything is new and exciting and comes out of nowhere for you to experience firsthand. Simplicity is the focus of every moment and is the key to the path of least resistance, where magic resides and love and harmony blossom continuously. That's beautiful. I hope you love it as much as I do. It's hard to make a choice. They're all saying, now me, I come next. But I think this is going to be wonderful because I've been reading this to you last week. It's called The Doorway to New Dimensions. And I'm continuing with this now. As you elevate your day, there is an opening into a new dimension happening in every moment. The control of these dimensions can be great fun, but the simpler you find the experience, the more powerful it becomes. There is no method for anything because it is a natural flow that holds no barriers and has no rules. No matter what you do, it will always turn out right. So the simpler, the better. The light-hearted approach to everything always gives you pleasure. And this is a good indication that the flow between you and everything around you is in order and the fields are interacting in a way that your energies are simply amplified and life is generating exactly what is needed for it to move forward in the best possible way. Now, much of this has been said before, but it needs restating so that it can be reintroduced in its new form that is supported by the world of magic and miracles. There's nothing to remember and no rules to follow. There is simply a confidence that the world and beyond is available and continually working with you to balance and support your life in the best possible way. The more this is stated, the more it will become part of the present way of being. Your experience of the future will be a great part of what is happening now, and the miracles will happen all around right now and not at some time in the future. Listen to your signals and remember nothing, so that the input and output functions of your personal supercomputer can capture what is needed and deliver the magic that you've never seen before. Everything is automatic, and it belongs to you. There is no influence that can be injected into these functions, and even when the world seems to be falling and failing down, it is being handled by magic and miracles that are beyond your recognition. Enjoy every moment and celebrate everything so that it is registered and complete and successful in the archives of your being. Now you know why I was up till after midnight. I was voracious. I saw these words and I said, yes, yes, they must be transmitted. They must be spoken. They cannot stay on a website. They have to be heard. And with that, I invite each and every one of you, when you get the recording, share it with someone that you care about. Sometimes it's easier to have someone else speak the truth that you know within you. So I offer my services to you. Okay. That's interesting. Oh, this is lovely. You could see how I was tantalized by every title. My hair is running around. By the way, I had the honor and the pleasure of narrating or speaking Robert's words. And as I spoke, the title appeared. And that's how these titles come right out of the words. And this is called The Freshness of Each Day. The freshness of each day will lead you to new horizons that have never entered your awareness before. There are many prospects in the physical world that have never been explored, and there are many prospects outside the physical world that have not even been considered. The variety of focus in every new day can only be imagined for a moment before it changes and presents something new to attract your attention. As you view this from the horizon, there is calmness and a slowing of pace that appears in your being. Even though everything is moving at extremely high speed, the balance of your position totally offsets the activity and brings simplicity to everything that comes in front of you. And remember when I said, Robert said, I love words and he doesn't need them? Well, here's something called no need for words. There is another possibility in every moment, and all the directions that come to you allow you to access this possibility without any thought or consideration. As you access this possibility, it is performed with ease, even if it is a difficult task. And when you have finished, you will lead into the next event that has come out of nowhere, just before you have the chance to consider something else. This continues the flow that has been initiated by another possibility, and all that fills your field is light and easy to express through your actions in your own physical world. The action of thought becomes negligible, and as a result, there is little strain on your system, no matter what you find yourself doing. The future rushes at you without introduction, and there is another world ready for you to live and enjoy immediately, all without words. I feel like I'm at a banquet and I don't know what to eat first. There's a cornucopia of endless treasures that gives me so much pleasure in sharing with you. So I have in front of me the willingness to accept perfection. That fits. And then we have two more gems to share with you. But perhaps this would be a good time for me to do my duty as a diplomat to Swisindo. And we'll just slip in because I have good news to tell you. So once again, I don't think there's anyone on the call today that is not well versed in Swisindo, but I hope by now you've all downloaded your M1 voucher, put your picture there, and put it in a safe place. Okay? And here's the debt burden liberation certificate. And this is found on the swisindo.news website. And the swisindo.net is where you'll find all the history. Now, you all know that M1, or Honorable Wapak, has been jailed on false charges. And the hardest thing to believe is that he's been in that jail since August. And he's in that jail since August because in April, he had an audit done of the World Bank and discovered all the corruption for about $70 trillion that was supposed to go to needy countries as grants. But those stinkers made them into loans. And when they couldn't repay the loan, they helped themselves to those countries' resources. Not acceptable. So the powers that be, and certainly I hope I can say the powers that were, got him to be jailed, imprisoned by the Rothschild machine. Well, we've been tracking this, and the way I track it, first of all, I want to thank Vidi because she always alerts me when there's good news on Skype, because there is a group on Skype that they keep up to date with all of this information. So today I looked at it, and it said the KPK, that's a highly regarded investigation department of Indonesia, has come on the scene, and I believe they've achieved a private interview with M1 outside the prison, and they have taken the topic of conversation from the trumped up charges to the real purpose of UN Swissindo and their world plan to make sure that every man, woman, and child is taken care of, at least for their basic needs. So that's good news. And you could see everyone on that Skype call was asking Susan Terry, can you tell us more? Can you tell us more? And she said, no, not right now. It's very private. About 30 million people in the world are praying for M1 at this moment. And she said, but I hope to have good news to tell you this Thursday at our Swissindo meeting. So we did the Swissindo. And now, how about this title? Willingness to accept perfection. And this is all of us on this call, because I feel you. I feel your excitement. I feel your acceptance. And I really love you. Willingness to accept perfection. Sit amongst the stars, and you will see a totally different world than the one that has a continued influx of influences from every diversion known to man. The difference is not important, but the total calmness and remoteness gives you a different outlook on everything. Everything that attempts to influence your field. There is a consistent flow of light-hearted energy that is available to everyone, and there is no need to take on the serious influences that are thrown in your direction. Everyone will feel the special energies as they ride on top of the wave and stop hanging on to the person at the bottom of the wave. The wave itself will pick up those who are ready to ride above the turmoil and will allow those who are not to flounder around in the wash until all reaction is depleted. All the elements of your life are now clear and positive, and all the energies that flow from afar are with you as you proceed to the next phase of your existence on Earth. The fact that you have movement when there is no obvious change in the actions that you perform in your everyday life shows that the active energies are at work in places that have not yet been revealed. This will continue to grow as you remain totally connected to your origin and isolated from the influences that attempt to drag at you each day. The calm progress that is inherent in your world as a space being is now becoming a major force and a major factor in your physical presence. And your nature is becoming more stable as this calmness persists. You will see far beyond the limitations that are presented by society, and your willingness to explain will decrease as you see that people are able to do the same. This is a new way of thinking, a new way of being that makes everything run smoothly, even when there is a cause for disruption. The elevation of people depends on the willingness of people to elevate themselves at times when they know they are down. This can be influenced by your presence and the energies that are delivered to you each day. What is important is that this influence is not persuasive in any way. It is a lifeline that can be reached out for and used without affecting you in any way. Everything in each person's life depends on their own awareness and their willingness to accept perfection without demanding anything of any other person. Your presence as a space being will allow this to be acceptable practice by everyone, and your interaction will be at a level that ignores all the underlying inflections of human interaction. Last Wednesday, I heard words spoken by David that have not left me. They are powerful, true, and echoing until right now. And that is why I'm sharing it with you now. Thank you, David. It is called Honoring the Masters. There's so much we don't know. There's so much we can't see. And yet there are those who can see behind the veil and into the future. Without them, we are lost, for they are guides to the blind. For we naturally, many times without intention, cover over parts of us that threaten the peace and harmony of all those around us. But as we receive the sight from these masters without resistance or denial, we are brought to a higher version of ourselves, even though many times we are unable to see the light that is coming with such clarity directly from their mouth. It is always dangerous to think that you know yourself. To be able to stand with complete objectivity about who you are is a gift that only a few are initially able to achieve. Although many may see wonderful aspects of you, it is the masters that see it all. Your full being is on display every moment, yet in their instruction, they seek only to set you free and allow you to move forward with a stronger and deeper character. These are the prophets and the mystics and others that have no names. They are sent here to make the crooked road straight, to make the deaf hear and the blind see. Through the refiner's fire and the intense heat that it generates, you are separated from all false images of yourself. In the Bible story, the woman went back to her village and said, "I just met a man at the well that told me everything I ever did." For many, the process is too difficult to go through, and they choose to experience this process at a later time in their journey. But know for sure that you will meet these masters at another time, and you will once again be given the choice to see yourself as you yourself are seen. The depth of the transformation that is desired by each person requires an openness that is beyond what you can ever imagine, a self-awareness that is found only in the eternal you. The many faces that you see in the mirror are all aspects of you, and there is a beauty in each one as they are acknowledged without denial. May the all of you be expressed as beauty, and may the smile of eternity be seen and felt sitting right behind all of the aspects of you. This is the great quest and the great mystery that we are being led through by the masters, both past and present. Having enough money or food will never aid in the transformation, although it appears that it will. Only in the nakedness of your heart will you surpass all programming. Then and only then will you know the true depth of your being, and only then will your gratitude for the messages of those masters that have passed through your life be fully comprehended and appreciated. There is nothing to reference as you sit in their field, and as you are enhanced by their presence. It matters not if this is a physical or non-physical experience. You will be able to feel the patience, perseverance, love, and joy for your transformation. Now you will go forward in your mastery with that same level of patience, perseverance, love, and joy that you experienced from them. Of course, your mastery will be different, using your specific gifts that only you can bring forward. But the essence of your mastery will be the same, and the transmission of your gifts will bring millions into their mastery, and so on, and so on, and so on, until the never-ending ending. It is with the highest respect that I honor these ones whom we call masters. There are no words to adequately express the gratitude that I feel in my heart. They do not need our thanks, but I bow my head to these royal of all royal kings, and know that even with the magnitude of their magnificence, we are always known to them as friends. Nothing more to say. Thank you, David, for expressing what is in the deepest of all of our hearts and what brings us together as friends at this time. I'm holding another treasure from David, and I think it's time to share it with you now. And he's called it, Look into Each Other's Eyes. The answers come so fast. Most time you aren't even aware that you needed an answer. When they come without an obvious question, we feel it as a direct communication from spirit. When this happens, we notice that there is no anxiousness or energy of reaction. As we wait for an answer that comes from a question that we raise, which many times comes from a need that we perceive or a judgment that is requiring a correction of someone or even a judgment against ourselves, we lack the objectivity to recognize when we receive the answer that we truly need. The first way comes as a result of being in the flow, and the second way comes as a result of being out of the flow. For when you are in the flow, there are no questions because everything is being provided at the perfect time. The music is playing and there is a beautiful dance happening where neither partner is looking at their feet. Both dancers are staring into each other's eyes and floating so effortlessly so that you forget that you are even dancing. This is the flow. And this is the communication within the flow. Only when the music stops do you realize there is another reality with a different communication system that was created outside of the flow. A simple program to keep you from hearing the music of the flow, where the transmission is in a constant two-way circuit without any resistance. Stay in the dance. Let the music float over you like a warm summer breeze, and watch your heart explode with excitement as you receive every answer to every question you'll ever need. And you and your partner, the creator of all that is, will never take your eyes off each other. And peace, harmony, and joy will be your constant companion. Thanks, David. This has been an amazing time. An amazing time with a flood of answers to unasked questions that have been floating around and now can come to rest. Thank you so much for joining me this day, this beautiful day, surrounded by friends. And we here at the Advancement Center are wishing you, as always and forever, a perfect life, perfect health, and a truly magic future. Thank you.